Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in the part 2 of this video where we are discussing the transit of Saturn through the various houses from your life now. Okay, so if you want to know if you haven't watched the first part yet, please go back to the video section of your YouTube and watch this first part of the video, which was covered a few days back. Okay, now coming to the Saturn transit in the seventh house. I've seen this transit causing problems in relationships, in marriages, or in both. Okay. I have seen partnerships fall apart because of this transit, because it indicates a time of releasing aspects. It indicates a time of understanding the causes of a relationship that are no, it indicates releasing relationships that are no longer working. Okay. And this can lead to separation from your spouse or from your business partner due to disagreements. And depending upon the strength of the seventh lord and the strength of the relationship, you may find that your relationships have either become very strong or it is the time to let go. Okay. And most often people find themselves traumatized by this transit because their relationships no longer reflect and support them. Okay. And if you are having this transit and you go through the problems that are caused by this transit in your relationship, then you'll understand that your relationship is going to last for a long, long time. Okay. And as I said, it can make a relationship to come about. It can make new relationships to manifest. I got married to my spouse when her Saturn was transiting the seventh house. Okay, so although this transit can break marriages, it can also bring some long-term commitments. Okay, it can make you understand that you're really in love with each other, no matter what your problems are. Okay, so it's very practical if you are getting married for when Saturn is transiting your seventh house. And remember, Saturn exalts in the natural seventh house of Libra. So no marriage can happen without the blessings of Saturn. Okay. Now, Saturn transiting the eighth house. Okay. So eighth house is the transit of Saturn through the eighth house is a time when you are trying to change your career, or you are trying to get a promotion, major promotion in your work. So this is a very significant time for the path of career, because the eighth house is the 11th from the 10th house. Okay, so this is a period where you will either be rewarded or punished because of your work that you have done. So if you have worked very hard, if you worked for those tedious long hours, you will be rewarded significantly. And if you have punked your work, if you have tried to find out escape routes, then you will be exposed, you will be caught. So it can lead to perceptions where you will feel that you should reach greater heights of your career, or maybe you should completely change your career. This is the time where people usually transit to different directions, within the same career, or they change the career altogether. Okay, so eighth house is also the house of your in-laws. So this transit can break your bonds with in-laws. Okay, and it can make you very distant, very separated from your in-laws as well. Okay, and remember, the eighth house also represents the bank balance of your spouse. So, if your partner is working, if you have a working partner, a working spouse, then you may see your partner undergo a reduction in income, or maybe lose some already existing positions. Okay, and the partner may also get into trouble in their own families. Your in-laws, the house of your in-laws, the family of your in-laws can go through a lot of turbulent times whenever Saturn transits your eighth house. Okay, eighth house is also the house of longevity. So, this is the time where you might find solution to certain long-term diseases that you are carrying, or certain long-term diseases that you had accepted as a part of your daily existence. Okay, so this is how Saturn changes your eighth house. All right. Now, coming to the ninth house transit of Saturn. So ninth house is the house of Dharma. Okay, ninth house is the place where you're following your own divine inspiration, which is unique to each of us. And again, just like Saturn transiting the first house builds the foundation, Saturn transiting the ninth house is also going to lead you towards things that support the grand plan of your life. It can lead you to purposeful action on a path that will ultimately give you divine fulfillment. But on the flip side of it, Saturn's transit in the ninth house can also lead to problems where you will feel that the current work that you are doing is no longer working. That whatever, it can lead to some radical changes in your belief system. Okay, it can lead to radical changes in the philosophy of life that you have followed as a teenager or as a youngster. So, it is very important to understand aspirations that are no longer a part of who you are. Okay. And Saturn definitely is going to give you adversities with teachers, with spiritual mentors, with higher education. I've seen university professors getting fired from their jobs or leaving their jobs in search of some higher purpose or higher meaning. So as much as you deal with these adversities, you'll understand that what you need to keep and what you need to let go for continuation of life. Okay. If you're trying to join a new job, or maybe if you're trying to join a new course in your education, then Saturn can cause certain delays. Okay. It can bring you in touch with certain philosophies that you never knew existed before. And remember, the lessons of Saturn are not meant to extract revenge from you. Okay, it's meant to make you let go of what is no longer serving you. So if your belief system is no longer serving you, if your philosophical ideas are no longer serving you, then you have to let go of those things. Okay, and the ninth house is also the house of your culture and traditions. So you may be introduced to certain aspects of your culture which you never knew existed before. And if Rahu is present in the ninth house, let's say, and Saturn is transiting this ninth house, then it can lead to the introduction of new religious philosophies. Okay, it can introduce a rejection of certain traditional ways of living, that people have inherited from their parents, or it can also lead to some kind of separation or estrangement from the father or from the parents as a whole. Okay. Now, coming to the 10th house transit. So, this is a time where you will get an opportunity to complete all the pending tasks. Okay. A lot of people, a lot of us keep a lot of things pending. We start with certain things and then we stop doing those things. We don't want to do those things. We stop doing things which we find to be tedious or boring. So Saturn is going to bring all those things to the forefront so that you can move forward in your career or in your chosen path. Okay. And Saturn here, if you have worked hard, then Saturn's transit here can bring a lot of fame, can bring a lot of stability in your career. And again, this is a time to do great things for the benefit of people outside the family. Okay, for the benefit of people who are your friends and who are beyond your social circle. Remember, if you work for others, you also get the benefits which you would be getting while working for yourself. Okay. Now, the 10th house is also the house of the father, in according to most texts of Vedic astrology. And I've seen patterns transit causing problems with the father's health. And it can also cause you to get into disagreements or adversities with your boss or with your superiors at work. Okay, so it can also bring in adversities from your guru. Okay, so be very, very careful when Saturn transits the 10th house. Okay, now again, Saturn's transit from the 11th house. This is regarded to be a good transit as long as the 11th house is you know is located in good places from the moon. So this transit of Saturn through your 11th house is all about setting long-term goals and making long-term social connections. Okay, it'll also make you get rid of frivolous social connections that were draining and sabotaging in some ways. Okay, so this is about spending time in social circles which are productive as well as beneficial. And because the 11th house represents your elder sibling, so Saturn's transit here can cause some separation from your elder sibling. It can bring health issues to your elder sibling as well. And although 11th house is the house of your income, so Saturn, being the planet of delays, can cause delays in having income. And remember, this is not a permanent delay. It only wants you to have multiple sources of income. Okay. Now, the 11th house is also regarded as an Upachaya house. That means it is the house of growth. So the significations of Saturn, whether it comes to hard work, whether it comes to discipline, whether it comes to following a routine, these are going to get better, okay, as the transit progresses. And as a native, the person is going to be able to release unwanted desires that cause stress. Okay. The 11th house transit of Saturn is also going to make the native look after his health a lot. All right. Now, coming to the 12th house. Okay. So, this transit of Saturn through the 12th house can either make you take more debt or you can pay off your debt. Okay. And all of this is, of course, going to depend on on the Shadbal of Saturn as well as the strength of the 12th house in your birth chart. Okay. So it can lead to some expensive health issues. It can lead to some damage causing by aging in your body or around you, around the people around the in the people around you. And remember, Saturn is about getting rid of things which are no longer working, and so 12th house is the house of loss. So anything that is damaging to your current state of values, to your current objective, is going to end during this transit. Okay. And if Saturn is well placed in the birth chart, then Saturn is going to give a resolution of problems to enable person to pay off their pending debts. Okay. Now, 12th house is also very, very important for marriage. Okay. So it can lead to certain problems in the marriage. It can lead to certain health issues of your spouse. And the best way to get out of the troubles created by the 12th house transit of Saturn is to go to places where you are, where you are a bit cut off from the society, where you don't have to participate in social activities. Okay. And of course, each transit of Saturn has a lesson to teach here. So, you know, uh, this transit of Saturn in the 12th house teaches us that Saturn is actually going to trying to unburden us from whatever is causing stress, from whatever is causing anxiety or depression. So if you avoid this Saturn calling, where Saturn is asking you to change, what will happen is you will be obliged to put extra energy and as well as spend money to meet the demands of Saturn. Okay. So this entire transit of Saturn from the first house to the 12th house is regarded as the end of a cycle of Saturn. And why is it a type of ending? It is because Saturn return is an ending and a new beginning. And the transit of Saturn for the 12th is an ending. Okay. So what happens here is when Saturn transits the first house, it is the beginning of new Saturnine things. This is where Saturn teaches the person to be extraneous as well as to let go of your extraneous traits, not to be extraneous, to let go of your extraneous traits as well as to let go of things which are not necessary anymore for your good. Okay. So it's about ending your suffering. It's a misconception that Saturn brings suffering. We suffer because we do not let go of our attachments. Saturn is also the karaka for boredom. So it will teach you, how to get rid of boredom, how to deal with boredom, as well as how to deal with depression. Okay. So that's it from me in this video. I've tried to cover each and every point that I can remember, but if you feel I've left behind something, then please write it in the comment section. And as always, subscribe to the channel, like the content if you find it useful, and please share your valuable feedback in the comment section. As always, I'll see you soon in yet another video. Namaste. Om Guru Abhinam.